tell us just briefly how you came to Christ. Unpack that a little bit more for us. And then how in the world did you choose to go into college ministry?
Yeah, great questions. And first off, just thank you guys for letting me join in the fun. I've been tuned into you guys' podcast since you started it, and really am thankful for this opportunity just to spend some time with you guys. Love your book, Fuel the Flame. So I know you were pubbing it earlier, Paul, but thank you for not paying me to say this. But I must say it is one of the seminal works really in this world of campus ministry, and if any leaders are watching this haven't read it yet, you need to get a copy, and all your staff or other volunteers need to go through it. How did I came to Christ? It was, to me, it was miraculous. I mean, I grew up a religious kid in the South. We lived in several different states and places, and yet I had kind of made it out of high school not knowing Jesus personally. I always say I knew a lot about the Church of God, but I didn't know the God of the church.
Mm.
And yeah, I just kind of in my head as a high school student, somewhere in there, the switch flipped off that God, Jesus, religion is only for older women, and there's no knock on women, no knock on older women. But that was what I saw. The only people that were interested in the things of God and really having a vibrant relationship with God. And fast forward, my freshman year of college, I went to a school in Indiana for 1 year, and I found myself really in the darkest places that in my soul, in my life, really getting away from home and getting to kind of experience the freedoms that come along with really just being someone who doesn't have the responsibilities or time frame to spend on anything that you would like to. I really found myself deep in sin, and whether it was immorality, whether it's just wasting time. And I always say I should have gotten a degree in PlayStation. That would have been on my degree list there. But I really found myself in a dark place, doing all the things and being a part of all the things I say I never do. And
Mm.
really, I had a 1.7 GPA. I don't even know how I was eligible to continue to play football at that school. And they called us in really about this time. It was about spring break time after my first year, and I had a decent season, and we were all looking forward to the fall and spring practice happening for the new season. And they called us in and said, "Hey guys, we're dropping the football program."
Oh my word.
And
Wow.
so for me, and I build my little kingdom of Delvin there, it all came crumbling down, you know. And I just remember kind of in the transition, getting recruited all over again, going all these different places, just crying out to God, really just saying, God, I don't know what to do, and but just help me, help me find
Mm.
my way, and I'm willing to put myself to a place of doing whatever you're wanting me to do. I didn't have those words exactly to say, but that was my heart position. And God opened the door for me to walk on as a preferred walk on. They didn't even really recruit me. I had a buddy from high school who was going to MTSU and talked to the coaches, and they let me in to come and kind of start practice there that fall. And it didn't get better right away. It actually got a little bit worse. I always said first 5 minutes first of practice, I was done because all I did was stretch. And I was watching. I wasn't bad enough to be on the kind of scout team defense. I wasn't good enough to be on the starters and the backup players. And so I'll just stand there and watch as guys were going about. And so again, my dreams and hopes were being dashed, and God was using it all. And thankfully, we had a team chaplain. He had actually moved to the town to plant a church there in Murfreesboro. And he would always reach out to us, pray for us. He was around practices and games, before games, ministering to us. And he would always invite us to his church. And so we actually were first place in the conference, and we had one more game to win. And with 2 minutes to go, we basically, this miraculous turn of events, we lost the game, and the other team scores, kicks onside, scores again, something like that. And I'll never forget, it was demoralizing. We literally went from talking about our championship sizes of our rings to, never, getting, you don't get a T-shirt for being second. And so really, it was demoralizing. I remember getting my car that night, driving around in the dark back roads of Tennessee, and really not knowing what to do with my life. And it hit me in the middle of the night. I don't know if someone was praying or what, but I need to go to church. Up to that point, I'd only been to church twice, I think my whole freshman year, and I hadn't been at all that fall. And so it hit me, I need to go to church. And I remember our chaplain, his name was Franco Gennaro, inviting me to his new church service. And I go that next morning, and I was thoroughly underimpressed. Not, it was not my liturgical background. There was a band. There was, we were in this ballroom with straight mirrors all around us. It's like a ballet room at MTSU. And I just remember just coming in like, okay, this is interesting. And thankfully, because I try to think about this with students now. Thankfully, it wasn't the music that impressed me or even the preaching, but someone walked up to me after that service, said, "Hey, what's your name?" And I said, "My name's Delvin." And he said, "Oh, I'm Ron." And I said, "Oh, good to meet you." And he's an older man, and in his 40s, and he said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to be out on campus this week doing a Bible study in the bottom of a dorm with some of your teammates. Would you like to join us?" And that simple invitation was really
Wow.
the domino that fell, and me
Right.
going to that Bible study over the course of that fall semester really saw my life transform, and the gospel came alive. I'd never read the words of Jesus. It was the most basic Bible study. We just read the words of Jesus, and I
Yep.
never read them. And Jesus really struck me in the heart. He said, "Why do you call me Lord, Lord? Don't do what I say."
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
that there's two paths. There's a narrow road and there's a wide one. And, the only few find the way to life. And, you can build your house on the sand or the rock. And as we started reading some of these scriptures, I started realizing, oh my goodness, I know what to call Jesus, but I don't know him. And
Mm.
I don't honor him, and so to speak, in doing what he says. So anyway, that was when it all came real to me. And from that moment when I came to Christ that fall of my sophomore year, I got baptized a few months later, and man, my life just wasn't the same. I was shocked. I kind of like would feel myself and say, man, I actually like am thinking and caring about my teammates. Like, before it's like dog eat dog, everybody just trying to
Mhm.
play. And now it's like, man, I had a compassion. I saw the darkness people were in that was much like I was. And man, my heart went out. And I wasn't the only one. Thankfully, there was another teammate. We got baptized the same day in a bathtub. Come on now. And so, we got baptized in Ron's bathtub. By the way, Ron, he never went to college himself. He wasn't a college student. He,
Wow.
he he was a traveling country music singer. So, for and he sang Christian, kind of country, style. And so we were the least likely to put together, but God just used his family, to invest and minister to my life. And yeah, his faithfulness really
Mm.
helped me see that it's possible to be a man of God,
Oh yeah.
and even as a young person. So I saw God begin to kind of trickle down and impact teammates. And we started a Bible study in our dorm, and that thing just started growing. We moved out of every space we could find and just had to start finding the biggest rooms on campus. And
Wow.
the exciting thing is a lot of those people are still serving God today,
Mm.
Mm.
and many years later. And so I'm so thankful that someone stepped out on my campus and shared the gospel,
That's great.
and then spent time with me to
Yeah.
to see me to grow in the Lord.